Hello there, everyone. Hey, just playing around with my settings, getting rid of some background stuff because I've found this new cool background of the charts. So welcome to today's live stream. I had a wild, crazy hair day. So the hair is being tamed today up in a bun. Can you guys hear me, Bat Scientist? Hey, Julia. Hello, guys. So I have Apple up. Honestly, I took away my upward trend on Apple. We have been abiding by this new downward trend since we broke down below on the 9th of September. We had this big volume right here. You can see, and really until we break above 117, hey Julia, it really is feeling bearish to me. You know, we might come back up and test this 20 simple moving average. Above the 20 simple moving average, I would definitely feel more bearish. Bullish. But for now, looking bearish. Now, I want to show you something really cool. Yesterday, I was playing around with GAN fans, right? And so I was like, hey, you know what? Let me just go ahead and draw this to the high. So here was the low to the high, and let's see. So we came down and we actually closed below, and then we bounced back up above. So thank you guys for letting me know. Right now we came to the moving averages. I'm still learning all about GAN. I do have my new book all about GAN as well and his technical analysis. So Reminiscence of a Stock Operator was written in the early 1900s. GAN was around in the same time as well. So I'm really excited to read my new book that he wrote and do a little bit more about GAN studies because I think they're pretty cool. In fact, what pretty much blew my mind, let me see if I have it on here. Let's back out to the weekly chart, right? So I thought, you know what, let me play around with GAN on a weekly chart, and I don't know, I'm just messing around with it right now, but it's kind of blown my mind, right? Look at this blue line right here. Look at how we came and we pretty much tested it, and then we shot up, and look at this line right here. We almost hit this line. So I feel like our pullback, if we pull back, might be going all the way down to 221. It didn't come all the way down here. It came to this line right here. So maybe if we continue in this downward trend in the next like 9 weeks, yeah, GAN, Desert Edge, G-A-N-N. So G-A-N-N. Right? And this is something that I drew from all the way back. Hold on, wait for it. It's going to load. The low back in 2002. Now we could do another one and move it forward since this blew my mind that we almost hit it in August and September, that we almost hit the upper bound right there and it pulled back. So yeah, epic lines. I know, it's kind of crazy. Well, I have all these other things on here too. We can get rid of this. No, wait, I don't want to do that. That's where we are right now. We can get rid of these lines. Because we're not down at 287. That's old news. But looking back at it, I was like, you know what, this is cool. Let me just play around with it. And then it came down just below this 1/8. Now, I don't know if there's a way, 77. So it looks like potentially that was like the lower bound. And I don't know if there's a way to draw that line right there. It kind of looks like we came down to that same 90-degree angle on the Qs today on the daily chart. So I'm just totally messing around with it and honestly don't know much about it, but I just want to share it with you guys what I'm seeing, and it's pretty cool to see how, I don't know the time frames. I'm still learning. I am a work in progress with GAN, and our low was down here, so it didn't come down to the low. So I don't know what this 8-1 is, but it bounced off of this yesterday, which kind of blew my mind. And also with SPI. So SPI, let's see if I still have it on the SPI daily chart. No, I don't. Let me draw it right here. This will be pretty cool too. So down here, up to here, as our 1. Let me just make sure that it went to the high. So high of the day was 46.67, and let's go to the settings on there. Coordinates, 47. Okay, 46.67. Okay, and I drew it from the low down here. It ought to... Oh, that's why it's not working. There we go. All right. So now, when I went yesterday, when we were talking about this ASIF, if it's in the red range, it's not downtrend. Okay. So I drew this from here. Let's readjust this here. There. So it blew my mind yesterday when we were just talking live, and hey, we had this mini breakout, right? That was another one that I just drew today. We had this mini breakout from the high here, right? When we were talking live yesterday, it broke out, and then I scalped some. We finished up the live stream, scalped some in at 962 right here, and boom, I set 1269 as my target, and sure enough, it went right there. We're on the 9-minute chart, but we were looking at the 5-minute chart at that time. So I set it up to 1269. I thought at that point in time, here was the high that I was using, right? And I thought, well, let me go ahead and just try it for fun. And look at how it hit it to a T, right? And then we came up and we almost hit up there. So if we go back, I don't know how it works, but look, we're on support right now. Yeah. So is this going to hold, or is it going to come back down to the next level down here is the target, which also happens to be my 425 EMA, roughly 1243, or is this going to shoot up to the upper bound up here at 2345? I don't know. This is pretty cool. Look at how it did it from here. From 4 a.m. went from 14 right up here to 29, right? And then it came back down, and then it broke down through this level and came right here. So I don't know, it's pretty cool. You know, it's like Fibonacci. When you start to see something and it's like, wow, that just really works, that's pretty cool. So also, I forgot to say, if there's anybody new to my channel, please hit like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you know when I go live for today. So I love sharing the cool new things that I am looking at with you guys, and all of this came about just like this down here, the DMI, Forward Directional Movement Indicator, from studying CMT. So as I learn things, I like to pass them on to you guys. So as I learn more about GAN, thank you, ASIF. You are a researcher too. ASIF has been studying really hard. Have to give him a shout out. He's been studying really hard for months now. And really putting in the work. That's what it takes when you're starting out, is to put in the work as a trader. All right, so let's look at the list today. So I had SSP. I had a bunch of low floats on my list today. SSP ended up just failing, came back, pulled down here, and then had a little mini bounce to the moving averages, and then pulled back down below. Sunworks was a low float as well. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up the watch list for you guys. There we go. It should pop up on the right for me, and I can go ahead and show it to you guys. All right, so here we go. It'd be cool if I put that up in another screen, huh? I should do that next time with a little image. All right, so Sunworks, POLA, and SPI were all less than 20 million today. So it was quite active for the low floats for today. And I think as a result, some people really capitalized on that and really shorted them to the downside. Also, POLA as well, I had bullish or a long above 513, and it ran up right there. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's play with this, right? Let's go here to here. All right, how about over to here? Well, that's a pretty classic trend line right there. right? And came back down, bounced here. I don't know. Gotta play with it and learn it and see how to utilize it. All right. SPI, again, we were looking at that. Now we're hanging around here. Is this going to continue? We shall see. The market will decide. SOL had this one as well as a potential long. If it could break above 252, there was that potential, but massive volume came in this morning right up there at that level, and they rejected it and sold it down. Then once it broke below here, massive shorting, it looks like, massive volume when we broke below that level. Let's do this. It'll make it easier to see. So right as we broke above, potentially some longs got in, and then some shorts jumped in on top and pulled it back to the downside. Here we go. We broke below and came down further. Also, what do you guys think of me just sort of floating over the charts here? Give me your opinion, because this is something new today. Messing around with it, I like it myself. And for Apple, I said, hey, if we break above 106.80 for today, we have a nice potential move to the upside. Sure enough, and here we come to a downward trend that had developed earlier this week. And we will see if we're able to stay above this, or we're going to use this as a point of rejection and continue the sell-off. As I mentioned, we are in a downward channel right now for Apple from that volume that we had back on the 9th. And as long as we stay in this downward channel and below the 425 on my 45-minute chart, feeling like a bear in the market. Today seems like a bit of a retracement day, potentially a move up here. You see every time that it came up to this moving average, they sold it off. So I'd look, if we break above 1134, 1140, really above 114, bullish. But if we break above 1140, that I would use as a potential short entry for Apple. Tesla is now just gaining on the day from yesterday. I do have some fibs on here. My target is still up at 480 for Tesla. It might take some time, but I'm looking for roughly 480 for Tesla. We are hitting a resistance point right here, as well as the 50 simple moving average. If we can break and close above 407, would love to see that. We'll have a potential move to the upside there as well. Let's look on the daily chart. So I did adjust my wedge. I had a bit more of a steeper wedge. We broke down from that, and then I came to draw it off of the lows from here and pre-market. So this is the pre-market low, and we are definitely bouncing off of that. We were right at the 50 simple moving average at open and was testing that pre-market. Let's pull the pre-market up here even. So this 24-hour candlestick on TradingView will give you the full trading day instead of just the open market hours. We've come up, we've tested the 21 EMA right here. If we reject that, we might be heading back down to test the 50 simple moving average again, 363, and then a move to the downside. We will see. We've come to this area before. It might be an area of support for us for numerous reasons. Right here, and then it was support back here, and again for the past 2 days. So if we can break above, now it looks like a break above 430, we'll be making that move on up to 480. Got to wait for it to break that trend though, for it to definitely be a potential long trade in my book. All right, AAPL, American Airlines pulled back this morning, came and it bounced. It hit that 1130 area, 1120 area we were talking about yesterday. Might be picking up some steam. If we can break above and close above 12, would really look for a break above 13 for me to be more bullish on it. Right now it's in that retracement move, much like the market. Everything seems to be pretty much green on the day these are downward trending. Everything seems to be pretty much green on the day. With the indexes, let's look and see. SPY holdings. If you guys have the ability, I recommend just looking at the different SPY holdings, see what they're doing overall. Hey, if everything in the SPY is looking like it's green, then, for the top 50%, then likely the index is going to be going up. Same thing with the Qs. I have to adjust make sure that I have these in the correct order for weights. But right now, down to NVIDIA is roughly 30% of the Qs. Everything is up on the day. So why wouldn't the Qs be up, right? When you have the top 30% all up on the day as well. So I'm going to do more studies about this and learn about that as well. Do you guys have anything in particular that you all would like to look at with the charts for today? I don't have a guest set up for today. It has been a wild and crazy week. No stocks that you want to check out? Let's see what's going on with Cisco. What does our chart look like right here? Cisco looks like it's just coming down the hill. Old. Let me get rid of all these old lines. It's not looking pretty. Look, we're almost all the way back down to the lows. We're $5 away from the lows of where we were. You know what? I'm not sure why Sun W is moving ASIF. You know, sometimes it can just be a volume move that starts it. Yeah, sometimes it can just be volume and volatility that creates it. And a short squeeze, right? So it had a short squeeze yesterday. This is day 2. So sometimes like SPI, day 2 can be more volatile. Sometimes day 2 will be less volatile. We could see that SPI later in the day could end up back up at 60, right? We're bouncing off of a moving average. We're here with that GAN fan, no idea. Maybe we're going to come up and test 47.50 today. And then they'll take it up to that next green line up here, correspondingly, up to 140. Microsoft? Yeah, let's check it out. So Microsoft, let's pull it up next, side by side. Microsoft, I did get rid of my upward channel as well, and we are in this downward channel for now. We're bouncing off of the midline right here. And on our daily chart over here, we have come to the faster moving averages, but we would need to really break out and close above 208 for me to feel confident on a bullish move on Microsoft. It's starting to curl up on the stochastics, and we see the volume though. If we pull it up here, where's our biggest volume day? It's right here, and we're testing the high of that right now. If we can close above it, then maybe they were creating a consolidation phase right here. You know, maybe we had 2. Maybe we had one over here, like this. Maybe we had one here, and maybe we're having another one right here. And if then we're able to close above 210.35, and 198.29. Fury, you know what? MFA, I don't know it, but the dividend is simply sharing of profits with the shareholders, right? It's a way for them to also take profits off of the books because they're sharing it. So real estate investment trust, hey, right now the stats were in August, 25% of the people polled were not able to pay their rent. September it was 30%. When you're looking at that for a real estate investment trust, I feel that the real estate market in the next 13 to 15 months is going to be hitting a new downturn like in 2008, 2009, based on the fact that people are overextended. And I have a video coming out about it next week, so definitely check that out as well, because I go into all the steps about it. And the real estate market could be hurt big time in the next 13 to 15 months, really. So a dividend is not guaranteed. Like anything in the stock market, a dividend is not guaranteed. It's a sharing of profits. If the company is not healthy, like with the bank stress test, the Fed went in and said, hey, let's look at your books. Okay, well, guess what? Your books are not looking that good. And so we're going to say, no more dividends for you to pay out because your bank doesn't look that healthy. Your profits don't look that good. So you're not going to be paying out those dividends. So it's a way to protect them as well if they are starting to see their cash flow drop potentially. they can restrict or cancel the dividends. All right, does that make sense, Fury? Hello, Samuel. All right, any other stocks you all want to check out? Let's go ahead and look at some of the Qs as well, because Facebook had some crazy price activity yesterday. And the high volume day most recently, well, we had one back here. We're obviously below that one. And the highest one recently was right here, and we're just testing the bottom of it. So that's still above us. Let's look at Amazon as well for their volume and see. And you can see over here on the chart on the right hand side that we're hitting a bunch of moving averages. How about on the 45 minutes? Yeah, look, we're hitting right here. So might be an area of potential dropping from here. We shall see. We're sort of in an indecision day. It's an inside candle right now. We had a wick below, and the biggest volume for Amazon is now below us, right? We're below the price action. So if we can close above right here, if we can close above 30.45, 30.46, then there's that potential gap fill up here to 30.77. You can see it right here too on moving averages. It's pretty cool. Let's check out Google. So Google, not looking so nice. We have the highest volume day back here, and we are below it. All right, let's check out Intel. Rio, LAC, and CSWC. Yeah, let's look at it. So let's look at Rio. All right, Rio Tinto. So right now it looks like it might have found support over here roughly at 60.14. This area, a little bit of 3 days of sideways action. If it can close above 61.60, potential gap fill up here to 62. If it can break above 62 and then close above 63, potential gap fill up to 63.80 right here. And yeah, Kyle, we'll look at that. LAC, lithium, we looked at this before, I remember. I see this area right here, right? You see that? So every time it came up, bounced below, and then right here, and then it broke above, came right here. So is it going to be able to hold the 736 area? Potential close above there, and you'll have maybe a move up to the $8 right here to that next resistance level, 816. And CSWC. CSWC. Let's do this. Looks like it's in a bit of a wedge. Actually broke out below. So I would see if it can't regain up here, potential short back down. It might be doing a retracement and bounce type thing right now. So it came down and it's going to test. And then this would be a test of the trend to see if it's going to break it or not. That would be a potential lower risk entry for a short to head down right there, if it cannot break above the trend line right here. All right? Potential, in my opinion. Of course, I am not a registered broker. I do not have my Series 7, so these are all my opinions. And there are varying degrees of risk, so please remember that. And all of that good stuff. Little disclaimer, right? All right, let's look at CRMD. Oops, let me correctly type that. CRMD, oh, still, it's bouncing back up, but it's not looking that healthy. This doesn't have very much volume, huh? So it looks like it's really been somewhat respecting this downward trend. And once it broke above today, people just shorted it right off the bat. Oh, that's 3 days ago, excuse me. There's just not a lot of volume. And it looks like it's at an area, this is a really steep decline. So it would take a lot of volume, like this day, it would take a lot of volume for it to be able to move back up. Right now, it looks like it's more in a downward trend, and this would be potential area to short with lower risk if it rejects it again. All right, and CRM, Salesforce. Let's get through these. All right. So this has been in a bit of a downward trend since the rest of the market back in the 4th of September, and it's been coming down. We have, it looks like it's widening. Maybe potential move further down. Let me remove this. Let's draw a really quick fib and see something really quickly. Maybe down to 229.11 and then or 228 and then down to 222. You can see, oops, if I put that there, you can see how it really tested with that fib level as well, and now we're testing the 50 right now. So if it cannot close above 237.53, potential move down maybe to 227.80 right there. All right, SQM and NEO, yeah, let's look at them. ASIF, you know what, really the scanners that I use are for gap scanners in the morning. So SQM on our daily looks like a potential long entry, had crazy volume to the downside. It's really overextended to the downside. And I would look for, on the shorter time frame over here, if it could break above 29.60, maybe it will go into retracement mode. Also, you can see over here 29.60, it's really the low of this resistance area in the past. So I would watch that. And NEO. Yep, Kyle, I'll look at that for you. So NEO, yeah, we broke down. Let's pull these down here. This is now our new low. So if it fails and it breaks down from here, continuation down to the downside at 15.62 right here. And let's look at AMD. All right, AMD, I see a nice little support that's set up right here. And right now it's just sort of going sideways between 74 and 78.68 or 78.70. I'd put it up here, 78.80. So right now I'd wait to see. The volume isn't really increased or decreased really at a particular level to say, hey, this is going to move one way or the other. We did have this big area. Look at how long it went sideways in this range. It took roughly 3 months, right? April 3rd until July 20th. So sometimes if the big guys are laying a position, Kyle, it could take some time before it happens. Once they had everything done over here, which was pretty much almost an entire earnings season, right? Then it really moved. So right now, hey, it's not really doing too much of anything. It's going between 74 to 78 to 74 to 78. And it might just stay like that in that narrow range of $4 for some time now. We'll see. All right, guys. Have an amazing afternoon. I will see you all tomorrow at 12:15. You might hear my eldest at home because she does have a day off from school tomorrow, so it might be a little more chaotic for me. But have an amazing afternoon. I will see you all at tomorrow. Stay tuned tonight for my video all about quarantine with the kids, going crazy in quarantine. It's a good one. All right, see you all tomorrow, and check out the video at 6 o'clock tonight. Card Pay Profit and seize those profits one trade at a time.